Long before humanity's first rocket clawed free of Earth's atmosphere, the galaxy belonged to the Aerith. They were a luminous, ancient race who had ruled every star and silenced every war. After countless cycles of slaughter and ruin, they decided peace could only survive if war itself was stripped from existence. So they forged a vast system of sentient weapons, the Guardians, machines of impossible size and power, each slumbering inside hollow moons and asteroid cores, wired into ancient runes of stasis and silence. Once peace was declared absolute, the Aerith sealed these Guardians away and dismantled all armies, trusting in logic and diplomacy alone to maintain order. The galaxy fell into an age of calm so absolute it choked all conflict, all ambition, all sparks of wild creation. Worlds grew soft and stagnant under a serene sky. Then humanity arrived. We were brash, fragile, and hungry. We saw planets as challenges to climb, black holes as puzzles to solve, alien ruins as mysteries to awaken. And no human embodied that restless spirit more than Captain Mara Kess. She led the exploration ship Wayfarer's Heart, a battered freighter packed with engineers, artists, and poets as much as soldiers and scientists. When Mara first entered Aerith space, she was greeted not with weapons but with quiet, clinical warnings. Lay down your arms. Cease your restless expansion. Accept serenity. But humanity didn't come to kneel. On the third moon of the pale star Helion, Mara discovered an ancient temple, hidden deep under oceans of glassy frost. The walls shimmered with stasis glyphs, whispering secrets of a time before silence. Her engineers begged her not to touch it, to let it rest. But Mara had seen too many worlds turned to graveyards by inaction, too many innocents left defenseless in the name of passive peace. There, she found the Prism of Fury, a crystalline core containing the consciousness of the first guardian, Thalven, designed as the ultimate defender of free life. When Mara touched it, a roar of memories flooded her mind. Flashes of warriors standing against tyrants, of luminous wings shielding entire planets, of a final desperate fight before the ancients forced them all to sleep. Mara's heart thundered. She had come from a world that learned to rise by standing together, by fighting for each other's freedom. No more quiet deaths, she whispered. No more forced peace that kills the soul. Her hand tightened on the prism, and in that moment, her righteous rage awoke Thalven. Across the galaxy, the runes on countless moons shattered. Old reactors hummed to life for the first time in eons. Metal hulls the size of continents peeled open. Eyes brighter than suns snapped awake. The Guardians rose, roaring songs of old war and new dawn. The Aerith panicked. Their leaders sent gentle pleas to Mara. Return them to slumber. You will unravel everything we've preserved. But the Guardians ignored the Aerith calls. They listened instead to the single, ferocious human who had reawakened them, who demanded not endless safety, but the right to live, fight, and die free. A fleet of Aerith ships arrived at Helion's third moon to seize the prism and end Mara's defiance. But Thalven emerged from the frost with wings of starlight and a voice that shattered the void. Mara stood atop his gleaming shoulder, her hair whipping in solar winds, her eyes alight with fury and love for all she vowed to protect. Do you not see? Mara cried to the trembling Aerith emissaries. Peace without choice is a cage. Safety without risk is a living tomb. You taught your children to sleep, not to dream. You taught them to hide, not to rise. The Aerith tried to respond with calm arguments and sterile reason. But the Guardian's awakening had already ignited sparks in every hidden corner of the galaxy. Once forgotten worlds sang in rebellion, forging new alliances. Young Aerith, once docile and dulled by centuries of stillness, began to chant ancient songs of courage in the dark corridors of crystal palaces. One by one, more Guardians joined Thalven at Helion, vast colossi of obsidian and sapphire, some shaped like dragons, others like living cities, each carrying ancient weapons built to defend the innocent and crush oppression. Together, they pledged themselves to the rebirth of true freedom, guided by Mara's unyielding spirit. In the days that followed, Mara led not a war of conquest, but a war of liberation. They dismantled chains around quiet worlds. They taught new generations to dream of something beyond endless order. She stood with Thalven at the front of every campaign, never hiding her tears for the fallen, never hesitating when lives had to be saved by fire. When at last the final stronghold of forced peace fell, the Aerith wept, not from sorrow, but from a sudden flood of emotions they hadn't felt in millennia. For the first time, they realized what they had sacrificed to avoid conflict: their spirit, their spark, their future. On the new dawn, Mara stepped down from Thalven's shoulder and placed her hand on the ground. Flowers, wild and defiant, sprang up around her boots. The guardians hummed in low, resonant voices, as if echoing her heartbeat. She looked to the rising twin suns and whispered, "We didn't come to destroy your peace. We came to give it a pulse." From then on, her name was etched into the songs of every liberated world, not just as a warrior, but as the human who taught the galaxy that true peace can't exist without the courage to defend it, without the freedom to feel, to fight, and to dream.